Hi guys, how are you? I would love to take this opportunity and say welcome to another episode of Breaking It Down with Boston. And guess what? We have a special guest in studio today. None other than, well, remember, I'm your second favorite Boston. And this person is striving hard to compete for that spot too. But I will say welcome to Mr. Al Boston in studio, in person. Come on in, honey.
Hey everyone, welcome. How you doing?
I'm good.
Awesome. Well, thanks for finally having me.
Oh, jeez.
I thought I was gonna be the first, but I guess not.
Can you please them all? I guess not.
I wasn't asking for much. I was just asking to be at least. You know how to beg her to bring me on to the show. You know there were like 4 people ahead of me, but it's okay.
Well, honey, you're here.
Oh, thank you.
And I'm so happy that you took the time to come and be part of this episode.
I wouldn't have missed it. I was forced.
First, you begged. Now you were forced.
Yeah, I didn't want to do it again. Go ahead.
Okay, you know what? I'm done. Anyway, welcome. And you probably have not a hard time figuring out where to get it from, especially the one that maybe has the #1 position as your #1 fan, but this is it.
I'll take it.
But honey, you know what? I am really happy to have you. And we now have an opportunity to share with our audience. We've gotten a lot of questions about, how do you guys work together to parent, young college athletes. But before that, let's go a little ways back. Aliyah said, Mom, when you have Dad on, make sure you tell them where you met him or where he met you.
Oh, wow.
So tell them.
Thanks, Peach. When was that? 19. Oh, we're old. If I say that, oh my God, we're old.
That don't give away our age. Yeah. We could skip that part.
But we met on a tiny island called Anguilla. It's in the British West Indies. Was it 35 square miles?
Very small.
Yeah, she pretended to be a pilot. So I fell for that trick. She was not a pilot. She was a pilot in training, never got the license that she said she would get, but hey, here I am stuck with no pilot. And one day she was walking the street and she was very hungry. I could have seen it in her eyes, and I offered to buy her lunch. Was that right?
You did. I don't think I looked hungry, but you did offer to buy me lunch.
And she accepted. That's the trick, okay? Yeah.
You did. And it's been 24 years later, and I continue to give God thanks for the period of time that He has given us the opportunity to be husband and wife and be parents, but let's get down to the good stuff. And He tell you that I had looked, and He bought me lunch, but I'll tell you a really funny story about that island in Anguilla. One night I went to visit, because I was still living in St. Thomas, and he called me from work and said, Cleon, get dressed.
No, I was energetic. I was hyped.
Yes, he was hyped. Honey, get dressed. I'm coming
to pick
home.
you up.
Yes. And so I got all dressed up, and I took probably a good 30 minutes trying to figure out what to wear.
Gorgeous.
And when we got home, and he's like, you ready? And I realized he didn't change. He just pulled on a different top, and I'm like, I got all dressed up, and he didn't say anything. And we got in the car, and we drove a little ways off, and then he says, okay, let's switch. And I said, what do you mean let's switch? Now, mind you, I was learning to fly a plane, a 172 Cessna, and he drove a little...
Hey, don't talk about my car. Don't talk about my car like that.
A little, what was it? Putt.
Hey, it was a Subaru, okay? A manual, 5-stick, okay?
Yeah, a Subaru, a stick shift. So he got tired of me waking him up when I come and go to visit to go to the bakery to buy fresh bread. So he needed me to learn to drive. So he got me all hyped at midnight, getting dressed, thinking we're going to some club, to tell me when we got to the top of a hill, he said, okay, let's switch. And I said, what do you mean let's switch? He said, let's switch. He said, you're going to learn to drive this car tonight. I said, excuse me?
Yep.
That was it.
And look at you now. Huh?
I don't put down a stick. I didn't finish my private pilot's license, but I can drive a stick. So that was one of the probably the highlights of me just navigating this early relationship, and just thinking back to those things just makes me smile all the time. But I want us to talk really about Aaliyah. We've gotten a lot of comments and questions about Aaliyah and Alexis and raising them. I've shared my story with our audience, and how they left, not necessarily with this audience because we haven't spoken about that, but along the journey it has come out. But what do you remember about that time?
I remember you shafting me with the kids leaving, right? That story?
Yeah, but I wouldn't really call it a shaft.
Okay, for those of you who don't know what a shaft is when someone pretends to do something and they don't do it. Is that something like that?
Yeah, that's a shaft. So what I pretend to do. And
so listen to this, right? Listen to this. So this lady right here, you gotta watch her closely, okay? She's slick. She sends the girls, or she says the girls are gonna go away for the summer by their aunt in Massachusetts. So, okay, let them get some family time bonding. And next thing I know, I'm saying, they're coming back, so I'm gonna buy them 2 brand new beds. I want you to listen to this carefully. So I'm at the furniture store, going to buy 2 brand new beds, because I'm like, when they come back from the workout over the summer, the camp and everything, they'll be tired, they want to relax and enjoy their bed. This wonderful lady is with me in the store. I pull the credit card out, about to pay, and she says, I don't really think you need to buy these beds. The beds that they have are good, they're fine, they'll be okay. I said, nah, I'm gonna buy these beds. And she watched me swipe my card.
All card.
Oh, it's our card now. It's our card now. She watched me swipe the card. What was it, $1,500?
Whatever the number is. You can remember that far back, the number?
Yeah. It was about a couple of years ago. And she stood there without saying the kids are not coming back. So I think it was Aaliyah who says, so yeah, Dad, we love the place, we're gonna enjoy it here. I'm like, what you mean enjoy it here? Oh, Mom didn't tell you? I said, no, Mom didn't tell me. What's happening? Okay, well, you should talk to Mom. Yeah.
I almost regret bringing up that topic. I don't know why I expected the answer to change now, especially after they did so well and out of college, no loans. So
what you asked me about?
I agree, but I thought your perspective would have changed. Yes.
No, because I have to make sure the audience understands how this whole thing went about, and you deceiving the whole situation.
Okay, let me ask you a question.
The question is, do you think that it worked out fine? Oh my God, honey, I think it was great. And the next question is, okay, so what's the problem? I didn't say there was a problem. How was that?
That was excellent. You had me to a T.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You
24 years.
You did a great job. You're now completing my sentences. Anyway, oh my God, I can't even think. Fast forward. Alexis and Aaliyah, once they moved to Massachusetts with our blessings, after I prayed and you came around and you went to see it and you agreed that everything was good. And they got into AU. I tell people all the time, because they see me, they talk to me more so than you, that I know we couldn't have done this first and foremost without God, but we couldn't have done it without you. And I say it all the time. I come to you and I say,
Because, listen, she comes so convincing, right? That, geez, what are you going to say?
and I could remember working in St. Thomas and the girls were going to IXL
That was,
AAU
it
team,
was
Coach Walt.
Coach Walt in New York, yep.
Yes,
Yep.
New York, New
New Jersey.
Jersey,
Hmm. Orange.
IXL.
Or was it Orange, New Jersey? East
Yeah,
Orange?
East Orange is where I think he was practicing. And I went actually for a meeting for work in New York, and then I took a train down.
I got to tell you guys about this. Oh my God. Go ahead.
I took a train down to New Jersey to a team meeting that they were having. And Coach Ward proceeded to have this meeting, and he said, you know, I was speaking with all these, it was for the parents, I was speaking with all these different persons and saying, hey, why aren't my kids ranked? And he said that, you know what, you need to have your kids go to some of these events. So he told us about USA, and I came back to St. Thomas not knowing whether that USA games, the tryouts was for U16s or U17s. I thought it was U16, so I came back ready to tell you, you know, I think we should apply for, at least for a year to try. And I came back to St. Thomas, and as I proceeded to tell you, you
said,
didn't even
oh,
hear.
God. So
You
here we
didn't-
go.
You didn't even hear the whole story. All you said is, okay, Aliyah's going to that then. And I said, well, it depends on how much it would cost. He said, don't worry, I know what you're telling me. Aliyah's going. But that I'm saying that to say you were one parent.
$7,000 later.
You were one parent who never thought something was too much.
I thought it. I just didn't say it.
You never shy away from saying anything was too much. And people see me and they see the mom behind the scenes, but as a father, you know, how do you feel about investing in your children and being there to support them? Because it wasn't just the financial support of going to AAU and making sure you have the fees paid and going to USA tryouts, but it was going to practices. It was going to games. It was traveling to the AAU tournaments.
Mm-hmm.
How was that experience for you?
I loved it. I would definitely do it again. No, I didn't mean like do it again. Like no, I'm good. I'm just saying, you know. So, but I enjoyed it. I enjoyed going to, was it the Down South or the Deep South tournament in Louisiana? The Nike tournaments out there, was it in Illinois?
Near Chicago.
Okay. And
Bo
you know,
Williams.
Bo Williams, Virginia. There was another tournament in Atlanta. I mean, you name it, we were there. So for me, I enjoyed it because it gave me time to spend with the girls. Like 2 weeks, was it pretty much 2 weeks? Yeah. So it was 2 weeks with them, and they're expensive. They want breakfast every morning. They want a big lunch, and they want was it that steakhouse, Texas something. Oh my God! But with all of that, I really enjoyed it. Enjoyed supporting them because I felt they played better when we were there with encouragement. So.
What would you say to parents who, we know that things aren't easy, it wasn't easy for us, and what would you say to parents in terms of making the sacrifices? We live on an island to support your children. It's harder, we know that. It's not easy, cost of living isn't easy, but how would you encourage them?
To set aside a certain amount of money. Instead of partying, you know, going out a lot or eating out a lot, you put an extra $20 aside, and it goes towards the travel or the meals. Like one of the things that you did with all your friends were you did soup sales. You did soup sales, cake sales. We did raffles. You know, we would go to the various hotels on island and restaurants, and we would ask them for their support for like a room or for a weekend stay, and we would raffle that. So people don't see all those things, they just know that we are gone again. But it took a lot to get them there to where they are. in his
Yeah.
travels. So
I didn't even think about the soup sales. Like my friends, their godmothers would cook soup and we would sell tickets in advance, and then I would take the day off from work and he would take the day off from work and he would drive to
yeah,
deliver.
delivery man.
But that was just to raise monies for the fees. We didn't have it. We did not have it. But you know, God made a way, and we made up our mind that they were going to do it. And if we said that, then the way was gonna be manifesting itself. And when they go to college,
Are you crying?
no, I'm not crying.
Oh.
We have persons that says, you know, you have young adults going to college. How do you balance them still being your children, but allowing them the opportunity to spread their wings, so to speak?
Oh, that was never me. That was mom. So she could take the credit for all of that. I'm the one that they would call me and be like, Dad. And I would say, don't worry about it. I'll take care of it. I'll talk to mom. And then I don't talk to mom. I just leave it at the wayside. And it worked out. But when it comes to the balancing part, I'll tell you something that she did over the years. When the girls moved up to Massachusetts, they couldn't text her. They had to call her every morning and every afternoon. There was no texting. Because she wanted to still make sure that there was a connection within that, in the family. Because you know with texts, you just say whatever and you keep it moving. But she wanted to hear them, hear the voice, and they prayed every morning before they head out. So I think the balance came with her manifesting or pushing it through with them constantly. I was just in the background being their supporting cast. You know, they didn't want to spend money, they called me. And they wanted something, they called me. So that was my part in that.
Yeah, mommy was the disciplinarian.
What does that mean? What do you mean by that?
Daddy was like this, just swoop, wrap around the finger, and still is.
Yeah, but that's fantastic though. You know where they're at? They're right here. So
you know what?
I don't get it.
Boston, you know what?
Do you guys get it? Because they're right on my finger, so I know exactly where they're at.
Aliyah,
You know what it is? You're upset. You're just
no,
jealous.
I'm not upset.
No, you're jealous because they like me more.
You know what? I believe they'll sell me for you, so I won't lie about that. But you know what? Aliyah them said something, and when I met with them, when we had our girls session, and they talked about the fact that if Daddy didn't stop her, we wouldn't have any money. I don't think we have different views when it comes to finances. You know, I think we both talked a lot about it, but I probably hopped on it a little bit more. And when it came to their money in school, I had a plan that I was going to take part of their money and
invest.
And you had a sort of a different plan.
No, you get the same plan. Your plan was just aggressive. So you see, this is the CFO, I'm the COO, and that's how it, right?
Yeah.
That's how it goes?
Yeah, the operating officer and
Right.
the financial officer.
Right,
Yeah.
right. So mom had a plan to take all the money, all of it.
I was going to take all.
Yes, you were. So the church had to get theirs, right?
Yes.
Okay, so the church gonna get theirs, and then the rest mom was gonna take and invest, because mom looked at it this way. During college, they got breakfast, they got lunch. See, she's nodding. I'm not even looking at her. They got dinner, and then they got this thing on the weekend. That
They
have.
got money on the little card.
Right.
And then they still got cost of attendance.
But you took that too.
I,
So, as far as she was concerned, they didn't need money. But I always tell the girls, cash is
it's
king.
king. Aliyah would finish it for you.
Right. So I like them to have a little money, you know, in their hands, or Wells Fargo or whatever account that they had. And we had a little difference in that. But, you know, of course, Dad won that battle with ease, you know, so yeah.
But
On the other
on the other hand, I think you understood and they understood that the
Oh my gosh, you still want to make this about you?
no,
That's
the
just,
purpose was
oh,
about helping
investing.
them to save
Yeah.
and plan for the future.
And mom did a good job with that. And now they are, honestly, I can say they are really happy that you did that. So every time talk to Leah, she's like, so how my money looking? Alexis, how my money looking? And, so you got it into that.
But that's a big part of guiding your children. Not just believing that when they hit college, that rains off. I honestly think they need more guidance than ever. He would talk to them
2 minutes.
for 2 minutes.
Hey, what's going on? You good? All right. Okay, cool. Love you. Clap.
Yeah, because I would just talk to Alexis
Mom
or
would talk and oh my God.
I would just talk to Alexis or just talk to Aaliyah, and then they would say, okay, I said, okay, don't forget to call your dad. And then they would reach out to call him, but by the time he talks to them, and then he calls me, he's like, I said, did the girls call? He said, yeah, I just hung up. But I don't understand how he just hung up if I just hung up. I just hung up from them, he called them, and then he just hung up from them. So where's the conversation? We're like night and day with that, like night and day. So don't even feel funny if you one way and he's the next, as long as in the end you're working for the benefit of these children, because we are like on separate, the islands is St. Thomas, St. John, St. Croix,
Listen.
and Water Island.
Yeah, but you know what they always say? This can only take as much as this, right? So the amount of talking that you do enough for both of us. So my job is just to come in and be the buffer. Yo, what's going on, fam? You good? All right, love you. Clap. That's it. What's the other question you got for me? Because I'm feeling it today.
We talked about how we met, and then we skipped over to how the girls started to move. But along this journey of marriage and life and family, you have so many challenges and obstacles. And I think that we face one of our biggest challenges, and Aaliyah mentioned it when we met. She asked Alexis for her middle name, and she told everyone that Alexis was premature. Alexis came shortly after we got married. That was probably one of the hardest periods in our life. And I'm sharing this so you could see that it does take faith. It does take working hard through challenges and unknowns, but it also takes teamwork. And our teamwork started from back then. You want to share your experience with us dealing with Lexi as a preemie in the very beginning of our marriage?
So this one here, I gotta tell you this right off the bat. Didn't want anyone to touch her. She would walk around the house, the supermarket, with cleaning wipes and
Yeah, she didn't go to the supermarket.
hand sanitizer. Oh, she didn't go to the supermarket. See?
Yeah,
Did she even go to church?
not in the beginning.
Okay, yeah. Mom was protective. But with Lex and I, we had a bond right off the bat. Mom went to Miami for 6 months or maybe more than that. Back and forth.
From May until after November.
Right, so Mom, and I want to be thankful to, I think it was American Airlines, was it American?
Yeah. Then
Back then for giving us, I think they gave us a discount or somewhat because of the travel. So yeah, they came in real handy and clutch for us with that. Then I went up. I just want to make sure you guys know I was the best dad in the whole NICU, right? Right? While other dads couldn't get their kids home because they couldn't put them in the bassinet,
bassinet and the CPR.
honestly, right? And do all the CPR stuff. Your boy right here knocked it out. All right. But Lex and I, that's why she loved music so much.
Oh God, yes.
She was in the hospital. I would bring the music, little boom box, we play some tunes and chill. And I would lift her up and throw her down on the pillows, and Mom would come in and say, "Don't do that. Her heart and her brain is not matured as yet. And I'd say, okay. And I'll pick her back up.
He didn't do that in the hospital though. He did that home when
Yeah.
she was out of the hospital after 7 or 8 months.
Yeah, and she would laugh. She would look at me and laugh. And every time mom come in, she would stop smiling. So we knew there was a problem from early.
You know what? You went to completely the opposite of what I wanted.
Yeah, but I have to tell her my story.
Like, what I was trying to get a point across, which
I know.
I don't even know how he get from where I intended it in my mind to where he ended up.
But you didn't structure your question properly.
Lexi was 1 pound. And she was the one survivor of a twin. And when she went in the hospital from May, when she was born, until November, then came St. Thomas, back from Miami. And I took a year off from work to take care of her. After a year, I went back to work from November of 1 year to November of the next.
Enough time?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
And then he
Change the schedule.
was working at a bartender, and he changed his schedule to work all nights because she would be unable to go to a babysitter to take care of her for another year.
And she called every minute of the day to find out how she's doing. Guess what I was doing? She's fine. Go ahead.
And so he's making it so much, I don't even know what he's doing, but he's making it so hilarious right about now. But honestly, in that season, it took so much faith, so much prayers, so much hoping. And that's where the partnership, like from then, like, so it's never me by myself and never him by himself. And I think all of this is what contributed to who Aaliyah and Alexis is. And it matters. Like, you have to believe in them. He believed that Alexis would survive beyond anything. I believed it too. That child got sick in the hospital, and they had to put her in a private room because she was still preemie, but she had already come out of NICU. He walked with music, and not church music, not gospel music.
WCK.
Calypso, Zouk, just Google it.
Yeah, man.
Music. And you walk in the hospital and you just hearing it. I have never been so angry in my life.
She was.
So angry. I'm like, you should pray.
She was disappointed.
That's the word,
Yeah,
disappointed.
Very disappointed.
I really was. And then as she got older and we took her back to Angola to visit, we would take the child out, and now when she's coming home and she has to go out of the car, she's gonna wake up and cry because the music is on. So he takes her back outside into the van, puts the music up, and then take her out the van and back into the crib. But guess this time the music doesn't come off, so she goes straight to sleep.
All right, Dad, you learned something here today, okay? Parenting 101, okay? Play some music for the kids.
And yeah, and disregard your wife's, let's not do that part.
Okay.
But all in all though, I really just wanted you guys to meet us. You see the stuff in the media, you see what you see for 2 minutes on camera, but I wanted you an opportunity to, and we'll be back to talk about some other topics. You know, we've made some huge strides and decisions when it comes to finances, but tonight was just about tying it in because he felt he was left out with the girls show, and making sure I get him in for this next one.
When am I coming back on?
I won't tell you because you're going to kill me if it doesn't work the same time. So anything you want to say to close us out?
No, I just wondered if there were any more questions from your panel from last time about, they wanted to know about me or anything.
Yeah, they wanted to know, what you did to help your children, which I think you shared. They wanted to know how to parent children who are still young adults but still need guidance.
Well, that's your problem.
You see, those are the parts that are mine. Anything that involves seriousness, it's me. And I'm not even kidding. So moms out there, if this is you, just keep praying and keep asking God to give you the guidance and to be appreciative of the good parts that flows according to what you're looking for. And the rest of it, just leave it in the hands of the Lord.
Look how the girls turn out. They turn out pretty well.
Yes, of course, honey.
Of course, I mean.
Of course, you did such a great job.
That's right. Thank you. Thank you for recognizing that.
You should have corrected and said we, honey, we.
No, but you said I did.
I know, but I said you,
no.
so you could now say we.
No, we're not doing that. You said me. No, that's, yeah.
Anyway, I am so happy that you took the time.
Well, I'm happy you invited me.
Yes.
And I'll be back anytime. Okay, just put it in my
Just
calendar.
put all the questions, and I'm going to make sure he reads them, and then we're going to bring him back on to answer every single one of them. Every single one of them. But I want to just thank you for continuing with us on this journey. And I am so excited. Do not forget to like and subscribe and to share. And I look forward to welcoming you back again on another episode of Breaking It Down with Boston. We love you. God bless you.